Okay, welcome to the Brothers in Arms Elite Football League. This is our YouTube channel. We're doing some different stuff on here now. We're gonna do a rebuild with West Texas A&M Buffaloes. Um, Preseason 2025. Look at the schedule for the season. Week 0 open. UTSA at home at Marshall versus SMU. Let's go ahead and make that on the road. At home again, FCS versus Western Kentucky, Middle Tennessee. I believe we are in the Conference USA, so Conference USA. So we got that settled. Now we're going to jump in here and set up our recruiting board. For that, we'll take a look at my school. It says this is a 1.5 star 57 overall. My God. D plus championship contender, D plus program tradition, D minus brand exposure, C minus stadium atmosphere, C for campus lifestyle, D minus academic prestige. Conference USA is C minus. Coach stability is a D minus. Coach prestige a D. Weight room athletic facility is going to be a C minus. So let's see what the recruiting is going to be like. And jump right in there. Okay, right off the bat, we need a quarterback, some offensive linemen, some linebackers, quarterback, and some safeties. Saying we don't need running backs. I haven't actually taken a look at the roster. Wow, of course, I've never seen that for 1.5 stars. Okay, so before we jump in there, let's go ahead and take a look. Because even though it says we don't need some of these, I feel like depending on what the roster looks like, we may want to recruit some players at other positions. So quarterback 76, it's not bad, it's not great either. We jump over and we look at running backs. Got one that's an 82 overall, so that's good. Wide receiver, no speed. A bunch of 60s, 50s, 77 is the best one. Offensive line is atrocious, mostly 60s, a couple 70s in there. Defensive line does not look great. Linebacker, that's where you got some of your best defensive players. It looks like cornerback got a 74. So not overwhelmingly great roster there, but we can work with that. So right off the bat, what we're going to do is set up the recruiting. So we're going to jump right in here. So we're going to jump to quarterbacks first. The best quarterback available to us, his rank is 760. He's a 3-star, and we're 9th on his list. Got a decent pipeline. I feel like this could be a good one for us when you look at the other schools that are all smaller schools. That's a big thing. So I feel like we could recruit this guy and maybe get somewhere with him. We'll go ahead and take this other one right behind him. So we're going after 2 guys at the same position. Hopefully we get one. If not, we got a backup already listed on the board. Right off the bat, you got some athletes right here. We're going to go ahead and take both these running backs. I'm a big guy on running back. Wide receiver, it says we don't need any, but I feel like we do. So here's an elusive route runner. Throw him in there and we'll see what these other 2. Contested specialists, I'm not real big on physical route runners, can be gems. I've noticed in this game. So there's a route artist. Not real big on those. So we'll just go with those 2 wide receivers. So we're looking at tight ends. Here's one that's a vertical threat. We're 8th on his list, but Texas is a school that he's interested in. So that could be a tough one for us down the road. We'll throw him in there as just a bonus pick for some players to go after. Normally I like to try to fill out the whole board with 35 players. I don't think we're going to quite do that because we're not going to have a lot of recruiting hours anyways. We need some right tackles. It says 3, but it doesn't look like we have any decent ones available to us. So I feel like offensive linemen really are kind of interchangeable in this game because you can always move them around. Right off the bat, we got a right guard. Uh, 1,563 is not great, but we'll go ahead and throw him on there because we got to have offensive linemen. Then we're going to jump over to centers. Same boat. We're not getting a lot with the offensive linemen. Nobody's really interested. We may have to start looking at 2 stars. Normally that's not a big deal. So when you look at this guy right here, Texas, Alabama, Mississippi State, A&M, Stanford, all big schools, are going to be really hard to recruit somebody like that. But then you get down to this guy, not quite as many big schools. So this is just... we may be hitting the portal hard, I can tell you that right now. So this guy is a 2-star. So we'll throw him on there, so at least we got 2. This guy's got Purdue, Mississippi State, Missouri. Oh, this is rough, guys, I'm telling you. It's rough when you can't find anybody decent. Be able to work with that. You see, now we're up to 3. Come down here. Just gonna throw those, and that's where we're gonna go with that. That's not, can't really do anything with that. So it doesn't say we need any edge players, but we don't have any great edge players. So let's again look: Duke, USC, LSU, Vanderbilt, Texas. So we're not wanting to go there. Same thing, LSU, USC. These big schools, you're not going to compete as a low-star school right off the bat for recruiting for these big guys. Even if they're interested in your school, it's just going to be a waste of recruiting hours. Like this one right here, Texas A&M, Texas, Purdue, Duke, and LSU. Not going to happen. We come down here, same thing. So I can tell you right now, it's pointless to even try to recruit any of those guys. So then we're going to jump over, and now here we go. Arkansas State, Ball State, us, Tulsa, and Missouri. This is a guy, defensive tackle, that we could throw on a list to try to recruit. This is another one, Rice, UTSA. So these are the kind of guys that you could put on your list, and you could kind of go after. So we're going to go after these 3 guys. Actually, go ahead and throw a 4th one on there because we're not really getting a lot of players from other positions. I know they're defensive tackles, but we can move some of them around depending on how they come out to edge. So now we're going to look at linebackers. Once again, here's a guy, Texas A&M, SMU, so that one's iffy. Here's another one with Texas A&M and Rice. Rice is not really as much of a threat as these other schools are. This is one we might be able to work with because of Oklahoma. We'll throw him on there just in case. We're going to jump over to the Mikes and see what they got as far as Mike linebackers. Here's a 3-star athlete. You look at all the big schools again on the list, you're not going to compete with them. This one I think we can compete with Air Force, Arkansas State, and Rice. New Mexico. Tough. Okay, so I think we could compete for this guy. We might be able to compete for him. Go ahead and throw him on the list. Let's start looking at safeties. So this is a guy, we do not have a good pipeline on him, but it might be worth our time. This one's got Texas A&M, I'm not thinking, so this is definitely one we can go after. Strong safety, let's see here. This is another one that I think we could compete for. This is here, no. So now that we've basically gone through everything, we're going to look at athletes. So we can see out of the athletes that are available. So here is, it's going to look like a tight end. Pure possession, 1800 overall. So now we're just looking to add, we've only got 24 targets, so we're looking to see if there's any athletes we might want to add that might help us out. We'll go ahead and throw this wide receiver on there, the contested specialist. Right now, I'm thinking that's probably going to be it. We're going to go to any. Looking at interest levels. There's a 3-star. So a lot of these best players available to us, we have them on the list. Have interest in this. That's good. We got 25. We'll go with that for now. We'll make that work. Okay, so if you've never seen this, when you get to this screen, you know, you always go through, you go over to recruiting, offer scholarship. Then you press B, you gotta go, press B, go back over, go to the next guy, offer scholarship, press B, go over to the next guy. So I'm gonna show you an easy way to do that. We don't do that here. If you scroll through this to need scholarship, you press A, over to the offer scholarship, takes them off the list. Offer scholarship, takes them off the list. And then you could just go through, it's a whole lot quicker offering scholarships to all these guys, and you can get them their scholarships without having to go through a whole lot of other extra steps. It's very time saving. It'll save you a lot of time doing this. And if you look over to the right of the screen, my grades on everything was horrible. Lots of red D's, D minuses, and D plus. See a lot of orange C's. So it's going to be really tough to recruit people when you have all the grades until you can sort some of that stuff out. But the fact that we were able to find even 25 3-stars we can go after, I think it's a good start. The fact that we don't necessarily have to have a lot of players right off the bat is also a good start. So now, I haven't spent any of my coach points, and I'm fixing to do that. But before I do that, I need to look through and see quarterbacks 2, running backs 2, wide receivers 3, offensive tackles 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I've got 6 offensive linemen. I've got 4 defensive linemen. I'm going to be honest with you guys. So I have not really gone further to the persuade, because I'm not a big persuade guy. I generally don't need to persuade people. So I really don't jump to that right off the bat. If there's ever a time you have the points and you may think you need it, then yeah, sure, go right ahead. Now I'm just going to try to... So right now, I'm basically going through getting to... Okay, so... Should have done linebackers. Now we're going to do a little scouting. I'm going to use every point I can while I got it. Right off the bat, so that's one we definitely want to go after, but as you can see, he's got Missouri as his top school, and they've got a 4 for their pipeline. So if they go after this guy, it's going to be really tough for us to land him. But if we can, he'd be a good fit starting off. So keep that in mind. And, you know, just because they're a gym all the time doesn't usually mean a lot. It just usually means they've got a better uh, depth trait. But that's not, you know, a lot of times, depending on where these guys are at, their skill sets are going to be the same. I look more for the abilities than anything, because if they've already got some abilities, that'll usually tell you a lot. Ooh, he's taking a long time to... Alright, so we're already at a point, so we're to the point now that we can go ahead and jump to the next week and throw what available recruiting hours we got at the guys we really want to go after. Okay, so jump back in here to recruiting. We need a quarterback. And I want to go after this one right off the bat. No interest. So we jumped to this guy at the top of his list, physical route runner. I like that. I like the physical route runners. Sometimes they're pretty fast. So we're just going to jump on that right now because I can get 8 players. 8. So we can only go after 8 players right off the bat. So this is the guy. Oh, Missouri didn't offer him. See, so that benefits us. So definitely him. This guy above him is a 3-star. We're not really competing against nobody. So because we're competing against nobody, we're going to go ahead and go after him. That's 3 offensive linemen right off the bat. So I feel like this would be a good get for us, grip breaker. This guy too, workhorse. But I want to try to get a couple of defensive players, so we're going to really throw them in there. Good tier and everything, so this guy is a good get for us. Because of the pipeline that we're going to have on him is really going to help us out a lot. Same thing with this guy. So these are guys that your pipeline, you're going to get enough of a boost that it's going to be an easy recruiting for you. Same thing here. We got a good pipeline with him. Nobody has a pipeline with him, so the recruiting is going to be about the same. So it's basically you got to say, what do I want? This guy's a coverage specialist, a box specialist. Big difference, you know. So if I gotta go after one of these guys right off the bat, I know I'm second on this guy's list, but I'm gonna go ahead and give my last 50 points to him, and we'll see where it lands us in the next week. Alright, so we're gonna advance into week 1. And we'll take a look at where we're sitting at. So we're going to drop down here to the recruiting. We're going to go in and see what things are looking like. It's already got locked out by somebody. So here we are. You can see our shaded portion of our bar showing the interest influence we're going to get for what we're recruiting him for this week. You can see the people below us are not really recruiting him very well. You can see that if we wanted to go after this guy, we could too, but as of right now, we got that guy. We get locked out by this guy. Wide receiver, you can see there what we're looking like. Offensively, wow, that's a big jump on that guy, so that's good. Big jump there too. So we're looking good on the offensive lineman. See what we're looking like. We're looking good on the defensive lineman. Looking good on this linebacker. Looking good on the cornerback. And you see how we jumped to his number 1 and we've overtaken everybody. So, okay, so all that looks good for right now. I'm going to go ahead and stop this. I got some things I need to take care of real quick. And then I will jump back in and we'll play our first game against UTSA at home. We'll see how it goes. Thank you for listening. I hope you got something out of this. This is Coach Dub signing off.